Hello, welcome to jQuery tutorial, chapter 36, jQuery binding event handlers, brought to you by Ankpro Technologies. My name is Harish. In this session, we are going to learn about the jQuery bind. So, we can bind event handlers to the events by using jQuery shorthand functions like click and mouse over. But keep in mind, using jQuery bind method, we can bind the event handlers to the events. So let me show you how to achieve that. It's very simple. Let me jump into Visual Studio, and here is my HTML page, and here I've written some style. I'm going to use that style later, and as of now what I'll do is first let me take a input element and let me specify the type as button, and let me remove the name, and instead of name I'm going to take the ID to the button as my button and the value as submit. And apart from that, I'm going to take a div element. So keep in mind, in the div element I'm going to push the result. So I'm going to take the div element, I'm assigning the ID as my div. So what I need to do is first I need to identify this button, input element type button, and I have to attach a click event. It's very simple. So first let me verify whether my DOM is completely loaded or not with the help of ready function. Dollar, then I'm telling you like identify a button with the ID, that is my btn dot click. Okay, okay, once he clicks the button, what should happen next is, keep in mind, once I click the button, okay, I should let me make use of event object. I should get the event type. So how do I do that? It's very simple. First I'll identify this div element, so I have to push that result inside that div element, and the ID is my div. So I'm taking HTML. In the HTML I'm telling like event type, event dot, okay, event dot type, Control S. Now let me push this page to the browser, and this works very fine. On click of the button I'll get the type of the event, what is triggering on that. Right now the event is click event. You can observe here the event type is click. So suppose if I need to attach another event to this button, so how can I do that? I can do that with the help of bind method. So what I'll do as of now, okay, you can observe here, instead of click I'm going to take a bind method. Okay, what this bind method is going to do is it's going to take the event names in the string. So the first one is click, Control S. Let me go back and let me refresh. Now when I click, we are getting the same functionality, event type is equal to click, but we are used here the bind method. So using jQuery bind method we can bind event handlers to the events. That's what we are doing here. I'm binding this event handler to this event. Similarly, I need to make use of another event, that is mouse over. So on mouse over event I need to add this class to the button, okay, this CSS class. So what I'll do is I'll make use of if else clause, so such that if the event type is click, then apply this function, or else apply the other thing for mouse over. So what I'll do is first let me come here, if event, if the event dot type is equal to this, that is click, okay, event type is equal to click, then what it should do is it should do this work, okay, else if the event type is mouse over, then it should add a CSS class to the button. So let me write that code. So first I need to tell to this button, so I'm making use of this keyword, this dot add the class. What is the CSS class name? It's sample. It's going to bring a background when I mouse over. Okay, and apart from that I need to tell else. So else what I'm doing is I'm telling like on the mouse leave event. So you can observe in my bind method I'm calling three events. I'm writing okay, I'm writing a event handler to each event handler. So what the event handlers are doing, if specified on the event, based on the event, it's going to do the work. So it's mouse leave. Okay, what I'll do is on the mouse leave just remove that class. I'll make use of dot remove. Sorry, it's a class, sorry for that. Okay, now what I'll do is let me run this page, or let me refresh the page. Now you can observe when I mouse over on the button, it's applying the background color red, and as soon as I leave the mouse, it's removing that class. Now when I click on that, we're getting the event type is click. So what did I do is I'm making use of bind method. In the bind method, the first parameter, it will take the events, and I'm having a functional event handler to all these events. So suppose if I want to unbind the mouse over, on the mouse over the class should not apply. So what I need to do is what I'll do first here, let me take a button here. Before that, let me take a button. So the input type is button, and the name I'll remove it, and let me copy the ID, but here I'll give the ID as remove button, and the value is disable CSS class. Okay, now what I'll do is first I'm going to identify this button, that is with the ID remove button, and I'm going to tell on click of that button it has to call anonymous function. What this anonymous function has to do is it has to identify, okay, it has to identify this button, my btn. So once it identifies, what it should do is it should remove the class. Okay, what is the class? Sample. It's very simple. Now let me go back. Sorry, it does not remove the thing. Sorry for that. It has to unbind. Sorry, it has to unbind the event itself. What is the event? That is mouse over. So this is how you will unbind the event. So let me go back and let me refresh. Okay, here now you can observe, now when I over on this button, we are getting that CSS class added. Now what I'll do, I'll click on this disable CSS class. Now when I over, you can observe still we are getting it. Oh, sorry for that, something has happened here. So let me go and check it. Now when I click on this button, it has to identify this my button. Okay, then it has to unbind the mouse over. Okay, and this is perfect. So here I have to tell like how do I identify this. Okay, problem is here I have not passed the hash, that's the reason. Control S, let me go back and let me refresh. Now when I over on the mouse button, we are getting that color, background color. Now if I want, now when I click on this disable CSS class, when I've clicked on that, now when I mouse over, you can observe that that mouse over effect is removed, that mouse over event is removed. Let me refresh. Now you can observe when I mouse over, I'm getting the CSS class added, because here I've specified in my code, if the event type is mouse over, then add this class. Now as soon as I click on this button, okay, to this button what I've told is just unbind this mouse over event itself. So that's the reason. Now as soon as I refresh this page, when I over, we're getting that background color. Now what I'm doing is I'm specified the thing as wrong. Okay, disable mouse over event. Let me go back and let me refresh. Now you can observe when I mouse over, I'm getting the background color blue. Now I'm disabling that mouse over event. Now you can observe we're not getting that. Now when I click, I'll get an event type. Okay, this is how you can bind and unbind events to the elements. Okay, I hope you understood this very clearly, bind and unbind method. So finally, thank you for listening. Have a great day. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel Ankpro Training. You can also like our Facebook page visiting this URL. You can also follow us on Twitter. For further reference of our websites, we're on LinkedIn too. Last but not the least, please don't forget to give the feedback. Thank you. Have a great day.